Today I want to go over another review of something I bought during the pandemic, COVID pandemic, of course. It's the X3 bar. So I'm sure you've seen it on Facebook and Instagram and all over the internet. Dr. Jacques, might be saying his name wrong. We call him Dr. J. I'm in a couple of the Facebook groups. But it's variable resistance. It's basically a system where you have resistance bands and a bar, and you use the resistance bands in the bar to about 8 different exercises, 4 on one day and then 4 on the next. Takes maybe about 15-20 minutes tops. You're doing each exercise to failure, half reps, partial reps till you can't complete anymore. But yeah, so let's get into it. Let's go over it. Guys, thanks for coming back. I'm Scott. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. It's been a week, been away. Went to Florida for some R&R. Had a great time, by the way. Just kind of relaxing, recuperating. But I'm back this week. Today I want to go over another review of something I bought during the pandemic, COVID pandemic, of course. It's the X3 bar. So guys, let me show you the system real quick. You get a bar, which is pretty much it's an awesome bar. It's built very strong. It's got decent weight to it. I'd say, I don't know, maybe 12 pounds or so, maybe 10, 12 pounds. You can see the logo right there. But it freely spins on the end. It's solid construction. Feels like some of it's aluminum, some is steel and metal. But it's a good solid bar. I mean, to be quite honest, I think I can't remember the cost of it, but I'll post it in the video here. But this is well worth the cost of the system all by itself, just to have this piece of equipment for resistance bands. But you also get 4 bands that come with it. Mine are kind of worn. This would be the top heavy band. You can see here, it's the black band. And then we go over here, and then you get this gray band, which is the next band down in weight or resistance. And then we have this one, this light gray band, and then you have the white band, which is the lightest band. And then for people who are really strong or really feel like they can do some work with it, there's this elite band, the X3 band, which they say has about 600 or up to 600 pounds of resistance. I mean, I would venture to say it's pretty heavy. It's I've tried to squat with it, and I can a couple times here and there, and I've tried to bench press with it, or with the bar, and it's heavy. I mean, you can get it out and you can hold it out, but it's heavy. But this is the elite band. I don't know if you can see this, but oops, sorry, I almost dropped it. I don't know if you can see this, but it's pretty thick.
That's what she said.
But anyway, you can see that it's pretty thick. I'm hoping you can see that. If not, I'll try to get a picture and post it up there. But this band here is heavy duty. It's pretty thick. It's hard to stretch. So it's definitely going to give you some good resistance. For the most part, I use the black band. And yeah, it works. I mean, I get up to about 25, 30 reps before I completely fail on chest press. And I sometimes will start out with squats. I can usually get up to like 30 or 40 squats with this. But I'll be honest with you, it feels like cardio to me, and I usually get just kind of wiped out. I can't breathe before my legs even get tired. So anyway, let's get into the review. How do I feel about it? I think it's a good system. It's variable resistance. So basically, if you have the band, you put this band like this, you put it around on the bar. Here, let me show you real quick. Just a chest setup. So we'd set it up like this, put it through the loop, right? Put it down. Then I can kind of like put it over my head, and you just kind of shimmy it around. And if you have help, you can have the bands lay on top of each other, and you just basically push it out. And you don't want to come all the way back to where your muscles are totally relaxed. You want to keep tension the whole time through for like a 2-second count. So you kind of want to go out and bring it back real slow. And then right there, not taking tension off my chest. You want to keep it that way. And then basically let me take this off. That's basically how you do the press part. If you're going to do squats, you basically just, kind of, put the rubber band like this. They give you this platform here, which is metal, and it's heavy duty. Again, I like it. I don't like these corners here. I feel like that can rip your rubber band. So I ordered another one from one of the guys on the Facebook website, and it's more like a resin type of platform, which is a lot smoother. But basically, you would stand and do like a hack squat, like in the front. This would kind of go through here, and you can see that. Put this on your chest, and you just use this as your foot plate, and you kind of stretch it going up. So that's basically that. So yeah, what do I think about the X3 bar? I like it. I think it's good for what it is. It's resistance, and again, I'm not a fitness professional. I have been lifting off and on for years. I've done physique shows. I'm a medical professional. None of this is medical advice, though. Please consult your physician before doing anything. Um, and resistance is resistance. It's variable resistance. So it's, again, when I'm back here on the bench press part, there's no resistance, and then it increases as you get out because you're stretching the rubber band, right? So there's more force applied as you get to the full potential of the stretch. So the longer your arms are, the shorter your arms are, will increase that resistance. So if it's, supposed to be equate to 250 pounds on a bench press, it might only be 175 pounds if your arms are shorter in length than mine, and vice versa. If they're longer, it might be 300 pounds. But the weight you're accumulating is only at the end of the extension. So the theory behind it is you can hold more weight here. You're stronger here than you are here. And that, it makes sense, right? You're also vulnerable here with your shoulders and different joints when you're doing different exercises, but you're definitely stronger here than you are here. So as you push out, the weight gets heavier and heavier, and you fully contract here. And then as you bring it back, the weight gets lighter and lighter. It's kind of like if you're doing on the Oxfit, if you had like concentric and eccentric, or you had like a chain mode or something like that, adjusting the variable weight. So you can do that same thing on the Oxfit. But this is good because I like it because I can travel with it, right? It's one of the things where it worked great during COVID for me. I was a little bit out of shape. I got in shape because the gym was closed. But everything around this also, with Dr. J is it's diet. So you pretty much almost do 1 meal a day, 2 meal a day, kind of fasting kind of scenario, and low carb, high protein, more like keto or carnivore. So a lot of people in the Facebook group are keto and carnivore. Some people aren't, and they do carbs, and they're still doing well with this, again, because it's resistance. Your body doesn't know where the resistance is coming from. So any kind of resistance you apply to your muscle, you're going to force it to adapt and overcome and grow. So whether it's, calisthenics, body weight exercises, Oxfit, X3 bar, just resistance bands. If you're someone that's not used to training, you're going to make changes to your body just because there's resistance. But the X3 bar, Dr. J, there's an app that comes with it, so you can track, how much force and how much volume you've applied to your muscles for growth. So I kind of like that app. But there is that diet to it, and his diet is basically cut out the carbs. Don't eat. He's big on intermittent fasting, and fasting in general, because fasting has shown to increase the output of growth hormone after a certain amount of hours of fasting, which is kind of what everybody wants, right? You want growth hormone to be elevated because that'll help with hypertrophy and growth of your muscles. The other thing it does is it promotes weight loss, right? So you're going to lose a lot of weight. So if I can find them, I'll post my pictures, my before and after pictures with the X3 bar, and show you that, yeah, it does work. I did make changes. But again, I think a lot of that was I was consistent with working out. I was consistent with my diet. And I think if you're consistent with working out and consistent with the diet, doing anything, whether it's calisthenics and body weight or at the gym, you're going to make changes. So I don't think it's a miracle piece of equipment, but I do think it's an awesome piece of equipment to have with you in your bag of tricks for working out. And it's great travel piece of equipment because it's lightweight. You can stick this in a suitcase. You can put the bands in a suitcase and just go, and you have a whole workout that takes maybe 15-20 minutes tops. I mean, if it even takes that long to get through the workout, which is another good thing, because if you decrease your rest periods, it's almost like a HIIT training as well. So you're going to see changes because there's a lot of factors involved, right? You got resistance training, you got a little bit of cardio with the HIIT training because you're moving kind of fast, and you're getting metabolic fatigue because you're going to failure with each rep. You're basically pushing until you can't push anymore, which you could do that again with any other weight. So it's not a miracle, but it's a great piece of equipment. I do like it. If you're something you're interested in for travel, I would definitely do this and buy it. So yeah, I do think it's worth it. I do think it works. I think there's a lot of people that don't like Dr. J's theory and how he, pushes, using resistance band versus traditional weightlifting. I think there's good in both camps. I think if you're, someone like me who's lifted heavy for a while and you have a lot of joint pain, then this thing is wonderful because, my joints don't hurt really out here. It's in here, and that's where you're getting protected. But I still like traditional weight training with the more eccentric weight as well. So there's good and bad. I think if you're good, if you watch your form with traditional training, you're going to get there. And if you're someone who doesn't want to use traditional weights and you feel safe for using this, it's going to work just as well. So I think use it. What else do I want to cover? Yeah, so that's the Oxfit in a nutshell.
Now, this is me in a nutshell. Help! I'm in a nutshell! How did I get into this nutshell?
I would recommend buying it if you're on the fence about it. It will work. You will see results. Again, keep in mind you're only going to see results with any training program if your diet's on point and you're consistent. If you're not consistent, your diet's not on point, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, I can't tell you I've been in the gym probably. The cliche number is 16, right? I've been working out since I was 16, but I've been working out for a long time. I used to look up to Arnold, obviously, as most kids in my generation. And I've been in and out the gym, and I've seen people in the gym year after year after year, and they're kind of going, and they don't look any different to me. They haven't made any changes. And it's sad because I think they're doing things wrong. Number one, their diets aren't on point. Number two, they're not consistent. And number three, their routine or their exercises just aren't sufficient enough for growth and hypertrophy. Not that I'm perfect. I mean, I've messed up, but that's the whole, premise of learning, right? You learn as you go and grow. And I've definitely learned a little bit, and I've gotten hurt along the way, and I've learned some lessons and what not to do. And that's the downside of traditional weights, but you learn. So again, I think it's a great system. Purchase it. If you're on the fence of purchasing it, I would go ahead and do it. It's a great system. It's going to work for you. Just be consistent, get your diet in check, and progressively get like heavier and heavier weight to like progressively overload, which is basically the key to growth. So that's the X3 bar in a nutshell. If you like this review, click the subscribe button below, hit that notification button, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.